Welcome to Emotion Art.
Emotion Art, where we sit down and make art with our emotions.
Emotion Art.
Creative energy moving outward in conscious expression of feeling.
Emotion Art.
Emotion Art.
Emotion Art.
Emotion because we are literally made of emotion. Art because everything we do wants to be art. Emotion Art. Feels.
Emotion Art. It's all beautiful. Emotion Art. Emotion Art.
A space for emotional art. Creative energy moving outward in conscious expression of feeling.
Emotion Art.
An emotion art gallery.
This is Emotion Art.
You're welcome.
Michael asked him if he wanted to do this, and he said, "No, I'm afraid of what you'll get out of me." And I said, "Oh, now I want to do it. I want to see what you'll get out of me."
That response is proof that you belong on the show.
Hey, I'm excited about it.
I'm learning to distinguish between my energy states, and I'm learning that with our breath, we can change our state of mind, change our state of energy. And if I try to go into a conversation in manic, because it's manic that sets everything up. It's like, you got to do the thing. You're doing. And then I come to conversation time and it requires a different energy.
Yeah.
And so instead of just trying to fumble through, I'm trying to learn how to flip my switch.
You're making a conscious decision. Yeah. We love this for us.
I'm trying to be more conscious. Do we?
Hey, I'm the same way. And you just saying that right now is making me slow down my breathing and focus because I know I'm not ready. I'll never be ready. I can get as prepared as I can. But thank you for reminding me to breathe.
That's all you can do. Yeah. I also appreciate every reminder I get.
Right?
Yep.
I've had a couple people, especially in my professional career, when I get excited and they go, breathe.
Who's done that most for you?
In my life?
Who has been the person that your mind goes to first as someone who showed up and was just like, breathe? In whatever way they did it.
Now, I've had managers in the past or like leaders in the past who are teaching me how to become a leader. And I've had a couple of them be real straight with me, and I love that. I had a manager, her name was Blanca, and she was wonderful. But when I met her, I had not been like on a path to promote in my life. I had been pretty stagnant. And then she came to me one day and she said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm downstocking this product to make it look nice." And she's like, "With your life, what are you doing with your life?" And I was like, I don't know. What am I doing with my life? And then so she started to take me under her wing, right? And then one day I had come in and I was all dressed up and nice. You know, I came and did my thing. Next day, it was like a long day. I was in my 20s and I was just not really prepared. Didn't look nice. My hair was a mess. I was in like a sweatshirt. And so I come up and it was the early morning and she goes, "What is this?" And I was like, it's been a long day. What do you need done? And she says, "I need you to fix that and then come back and then we can start." And so I did. I went and took my sweatshirt off, looked nice, fixed my hair, whatever. And then maybe like a week later, I opened with her again. And she came in and she was a hot mess. She came in late. She didn't have her makeup on. And she was like a small Hispanic lady who really put her face on when she did. And she comes up to me and goes, "Hey, I need your help." And I said, "Oh, what is this? I'm going to need you to fix this before we go forward." And she looks at me and she's like, "All right." And I loved it. It was so real. It was very much like, I have to hold you accountable to what I hold myself accountable for. But she did punish me the rest of the day. I had to do lots of things for her that day.
As she should.
Yeah, it was fun.
Punishment is part of learning. It must happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just think the experience is the best part.
Yeah.
As long as you can see it that way.
Yeah.
Most people get stuck on having to do something and they miss the point of the lesson.
And then the incredible management skills of a very good manager will be lost on them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate, which I've seen.
Yeah. So if she asked you that question right now, what would you answer? I'm imagining what your answer was back then based on what you're describing. Probably wasn't much of one. What are you doing with your life?
No.
Cricket.
Yeah.
What would your answer be now?
Enjoying it. I feel like I've had such a big life up until now that the thing that's hardest for me is like accepting it and being okay with things being good and calm and normal.
So when you say a big life, you mean chaotic?
I just got to experience a lot, you know, and I don't know that everybody gets to do that.
So being okay with things as they are is both good and bad.
Yeah.
Because you have to be okay, learn how to be okay with being happy, But you also have to learn how to be okay with not having the constant, intense, whatever it was that was making your life so big.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It was just a lot of emergency situations, like back to back to back to back to back. So now recently, I don't have any of that, like trauma or drama. So I'm constantly waiting for it. So I like made my anxiety really high, made me, I don't know, look at different things in my life. So I just decided to go talk to a doctor, you know. They gave me some medication to help me with some stuff. But it was so interesting because of all the things to talk about. It was like, why am I crying? Because life is really good. She said, oh, it's unfortunate. You just lived in this high, you know, stress thing, for this fight or flight for so long. Now you're just, you can't like let the quiet be nice. So that's what I work on every day. I always have a puzzle going, a painting, something to occupy my mind.
Would you call that like a meditative practice?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Some people shy away from the word
Meditative?
meditation.
Yeah.
It's like all of the buzzwords of today that everyone's starting to recoil from.
Medication.
Medication.
Meditation is definitely a uncomfortable practice at the beginning if you're not okay being by yourself. My favorite way to meditate is to run, like long distance. Those are the hours where you're just running. There's nothing else you can do, you know?
Yes. What about walking? Do you ever try doing a walking?
I do that now because I'm older.
Okay. Not as good?
No, I do like it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my second favorite way to meditate.
Yeah, just being outside when it's quiet. Yeah. Do you like meditating, like just sitting in absolute silence? Is that your...
It's like my favorite thing.
Wow, that is such a hard thing.
Yeah. Like there was a point that I went through in this whole becoming aware that I exist, you know, whatever you want to call that, where I was like, I could just get away from all of it. Like I could leave all of this and find a mountaintop
And just sit there.
and be at peace.
Yeah.
And fortunately, very quickly, I figured out that although the mountaintop is very peaceful, all of the learning that happens in the marketplace stops. And so you can learn your inner world inside and out and backwards and upside down. And then 40 years later, you come back down the mountain because eventually a human is going to want to come back down from the mountaintop to the marketplace where all the people are. And you're going to start right where you left off.
Whether you want to or
with
not.
all your triggers, with all of that stuff. And worse than that, you're going to have an incredibly inflated ego because you feel like you already did all the work. You just spent 40 years doing all the work.
Yeah. Do you feel that way?
I feel like that's why I realized that as fun as the mountaintop sounds, it's not actually what I want.
What do you want? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for whatever I find. Every time I try to decide what I'm looking for, I always get disappointed.
That's fair.
And so when I just go out looking for whatever I find, so in this moment, I'm finding a conversation with you.
Yeah. I think that's
in this
the energy.
moment, that's what I'm looking for.
I think that's like the awakened state of walking down the mountain into the crowd, right? You're choosing to go and have these experiences. Good, bad, and different, doesn't matter. But you could stay up there by yourself and give yourself every excuse in the world why you're there. You're either enlightening yourself or you're running away. But that choice to walk down is something I wish everybody could have a moment in their life that happens, right? Whatever that takes you on, you either engage, you don't, whatever. But having that moment is really important. And I think a lot of people have it in different ways.
The key, everyone has it in a different way, and your wish is granted because everyone that walks up the mountain eventually walks back down, right?
Yep. Or they die on that hill.
No one but is that the end? I mean,
No.
is it?
Yeah, that's true.
I guess the next question I have to ask, because we have other people sitting in this room with us. That's how I think of everyone that's watching
these
us.
people. Yes. I thought you meant spiritually.
I spiritually, 100%, I believe we're not the only people sitting in this room, but I don't know anything beyond that. I don't know who is in here with us.
I brought support with me.
That makes me very curious, but I also want to find out. I think of you as a coworker. I used to be a technical rep for a floor prep manufacturer. And you started working as a manager at a flooring and sundries distribution house.
Yes.
Called TNA Supply.
Yes, which I love very much.
The best flooring and sundries distribution in the Pacific Northwest.
That's a fact. Come see my team. They're wonderful.
And you stepped in as a manager from Home Depot, I think.
Yep.
And you absolutely leveled the place up immediately.
Oh, thank you.
It was like all of the whiteboard stuff on the wall became fun. All of the product placement was just like visually appealing.
Oh, why, thank you.
Felt good. You were welcomed in the door. There's a flow around it, and there's all these bright, colorful tags with the little, very helpful information about what percentage off it was, or
what we could do to make your life easier.
But that's those. I feel like those are just symptoms of a joy that you carry. Like even from the first time I met you, I see a lot of strains in you. I see darkness. I see the chaos. But it's like you have this over everything. You have this mantle of joy. Mm-hmm. The best way I can describe it.
I definitely do.
So, but I'm wondering, that's what I know, kind of what I know of you.
Well, I love that that's how you see me. That's awesome.
So if you were to describe yourself, kind of who you are, what would you say?
I would say...
Starting with your name.
My name is Cayse Lahrman. I was Casey Hines. I have a daughter, so I keep my name. But I am definitely a Hines. When I say I had a big life, I come from a big family of big personalities. My dad used to call us, or my mom, sorry, would call them all cast of characters. And I continue to surround myself with that. And I think that from growing up like that and just the things I got to experience, a lot of it was very traumatic, right? But our family always just took the, well, you can just get through it mentality. Like, what are you going to do? You're just going to sit here in it? You're going to step up and walk forward. And so I think I've adapted that in my life to a point where now that I'm in my 40s, I just don't take anything very seriously. I mean, I take things seriously. I have a very big work ethic. I love to work. I love to help people. But I think keeping things not serious and lighthearted and finding humor in life is pretty much how I would describe myself.
I would say most often when I ask who someone is, they answer with what they do. I feel like you answered with who you are. And that's an abstract question, so you can answer that however you want. But what do you do?
I am a territory manager for TNA Supply. So I run all the Oregon locations and Idaho. I have a team of 5-6 managers that I get to hang out with all the time. Some great peers. I work for an awesome company.
You do.
Yeah.
And all good people.
They are. Yeah. It's just such a difference. I appreciate all the things that Home Depot taught me to get me to where I was when I embarked on TNA. But the minute I met Daniel, who had interviewed me, it was crazy. It was just kismet, you know? I got a push from a friend of mine who was just, why are you going to stay here? You've already been here 20 years. Go do something else. You're not just this company. And I was joking around. I was like, okay, I'll apply. I'm going to apply to this place. Daniel called me and I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can actually do stuff now. And I walked in there, met that team and you guys, and awesome.
How did you become open to saying yes to that? I mean, you worked at Home Depot for 20 years. Why shift? Other than, you told the story, you know, the person who challenged you.
Yes.
And then it sounds like you were kind of like, okay, fine. But something was different than it had been before.
A lot of the traumatic stuff happened like back to back. And I had been working at Home Depot for a long time at that point. So I had to take some leaves to go deal with things. When it was like my mom passed away, my brother almost died. And they did not care at all. And I had given my time to Home Depot for 20 years. I had run they have a thing called the Homer Fund, where you can donate your paycheck, part of your paycheck, to associates in need. I ran countless fundraisers, things to just help people. And I was working for a guy at the time who was considered like very, he just cared about people, but he didn't care about this person. He had an agenda. So when I went, you know, when the things happened, they didn't do anything. They didn't send me a card. They didn't say sorry. They didn't say, is there anything we can do? And I could not believe how callous it was. I mean, I'd always known you're replaceable, but like seeing it live like that made me super discouraged.
Yeah, especially after you put 20 years in. And at the end of the day, it's corporate.
Yeah. And it wasn't even about the time. I mean, the time just kind of went by, right?
Yeah.
You didn't mean to commit that much time, but you're already there for 10 years. Might as well stay a little longer. And then I got all those opportunities to promote and do all sorts of training and learning. And I love that, being challenged all the time. But that was just so disappointing because, these were major events. And they just acted like it didn't happen.
Could you give a really quick backdrop, a short story through what made you you? Like your upbringing, what were you born into? Just what did it feel like?
Just really open to different things. I always say my family was in the mindset of if you're in the room and you have hands, you help. And that's just kind of the environment my parents always put us in.
Religious?
No. I had 3 brothers.
A-religious? Against religion?
No, my mom would take us. We were Catholic. We got confirmed. I have my saint name and everything. First communion. But it was as soon as we culminated, we could choose if we wanted to go or not. And we all just followed suit. So my oldest brother stopped going. So my middle brother stopped going. Then I stopped going.
Okay.
I did have a friend that was across the street who her family was very religious. So I did revisit it a couple times. But I just never felt welcome.
Religious by convenience. A little bit. Okay.
Mom tried to save us, but then, after a while, it was weird too, because she always made us go to church like every Sunday, right? 5:00. We always had to go every week. And we fight her every week. And this poor woman is just dragging us to church every week. And then when we got out of it, she got breast cancer. And after that, she kind of switched. She stopped going to church and she would do like tarot readings and things like that. Yeah, I never thought she'd do that. She's a lady from New Jersey. It was fun to watch her take a different perspective on something that she always just blindly committed to.
Small town? Big town?
No, we lived in like a suburb of LA, actually.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So we were from New Jersey. We lived in a lake community up there. And then my dad worked for ABC. And so he would cover the Olympics.
He was a reporter?
He would do the production and distribution. So he knew a lot about telecommunications and things like that. But this was like in the 70s, ABC. It was pretty cool. Met my mom at a bar. They fell in love. He decided to start his own business, moved to California, took the whole family. Everybody else stayed back east. And then we just kind of figured it out from there. And whatever we needed done, whatever my parents needed, we did. So we all worked as soon as we could. I worked at 14, paid for your own stuff. We didn't have any money.
Back when you could still meet someone in a bar and have a chance of it working out.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was the healthiest relationship, but they were great. I didn't realize there was anything not wrong, but like difficult about my upbringing ever until I started to talk about it as background information with my therapist now. Where she's like, tell me a little bit about this. And so I'm explaining things and she's stopping me. Hey, do you want to go back through any of this? And I was like, no, why? That was great times. She's like, no, this is not very normal.
The things we don't know until we somehow look at it and it's been right there all along.
Right.
That's, I guess, the importance of language, finding language to describe emotions, to describe feelings.
Yeah. And I am very happy to be a part of it. I mean, my daughter is the whole center of my world. So like she's the thing that brings me back there, and making sure that she has all that ability to communicate and like support in anything she's doing. I wish I had more of that, but I wouldn't trade my upbringing for anything. All the bad things, all the good things.
Therapy, was that something that was frowned on? Even
it was not offered.
Only broken people need therapy.
It wasn't even like that. It wasn't even a bad thing. It just wasn't a thing.
Okay.
But my dad also dealt with the arguments that they would have. They didn't try to fight in front of us, best they could. But it got to a point where it was just tumultuous. And so, she'd try to talk to him and he would just completely ignore her and then like walk out the door. And you're watching this going, this is somebody I hold on a pedestal up here who can communicate with anybody, who lives this huge, awesome life. And you can't respect her enough to look her in the eyes when she's talking to you. And then you don't think about it, right? But you just know it was uncomfortable. And then later on, you're thinking about it going, wow, I would never want that for my daughter. Why would I accept that for myself? But my mom never went through therapy or anything like that. Then it probably would have helped.
Oh, that's a huge challenge to me because that describes the way I deal with some of the relationship dynamics with my wife, Bonnie. Feel a lot like that.
That she would walk away from you, or you would walk?
I just close off.
Yeah.
I don't like how it feels. And that's something that I'm working on, but there's a very scared little boy who doesn't know how to interact in a healthy way without getting mad. Oh, it's just so confusing and interesting. And you're right. It's a terrible example for children.
Yeah. But as uncomfortable as it makes you to deal with, don't you feel like you really are owning your fears and feelings when you do step back and have that conversation? Like, do you do that now when you argue with someone? Do you come back and talk about it?
If I'm going to talk, I'm going to say the things that I need to say, that I want to say. And if that's just going to be the fight, then I don't know. I guess that's why it's confusing. And I have such good language for other people. I can help anyone else navigate all of the chaos,
right? I give
all
the
of the
best
dysfunction.
advice.
But it's so hard to hear our own advice.
Mm-hmm. Well, it does help if you have someone who is ready to accept what you're about to give them, right? I've never had, until this relationship, I've never had someone who could meet my energy. And the hard part with my partner now is like, he does the same thing. When we need our space, we shut down, absolutely silent. I won't walk away because I want you to know that I'm there, but I'm not ready to talk to you. So you can just sit in silence. And it's hard because I'm so generally upbeat and pleasant, you know, because I just want my days to be that way. So when I get upset, it's like ditch to ditch for people. Yeah. They just can't handle it. Yeah. And I know that, right? So I have to calm down. But I love my partner because we both came from 12-year marriages, and obviously those didn't end how we wanted them. So now that we got together, it was like, we're not going to repeat the same mistakes. And as uncomfortable as it makes us, we'll sit in that room and I'll say all the things, like to the point where I'm just saying, are you standing right next to me, allowing me to be, or are you standing in my way, telling me how I'm supposed to be? And he just stands next to me. Bring it on. Let's do this together. We got this. And like every time we get through that conversation, we're both so thankful. But we'll spend, a day and a half being uncomfortable. But now that we do it more often, it doesn't take us long. It used to take us like 3-4 days. Then it was like 2 days. Now it's kind of like I'll leave the room, but I'll come right back in and go, okay, here's why I'm irritated. And he'll listen. And I appreciate that.
And I mean, it feels like it would be so easy for me to be like, well, that listening part is missing. But that puts the responsibility for how I'm showing up on her.
Yeah.
And I want to take responsibility for my own emotions and my own reactions to them.
But you're still allowed to have them.
And the first part is giving myself permission to have them.
Yeah.
Even if nobody else does. And then learning what reactions you actually want to have and what reactions you're just having because you've never tried anything different. Like that's just how you've always responded since you were a kid. And that's a hell of a process, especially when you're dealing with somebody as close as a marriage of going on 20 years.
Yeah, with lots of kids.
Yeah. And you're trying to emotionally separate without physically separating. Mm-hmm. That's tough.
Well, I mean, aren't most marriages that, right? Like you either detach early, you detach at the same time, or you're on totally separate planes when it comes to that. But there is no longer that attachment. It's functioning in the world you've created.
That's interesting
that
you'd say that. It's like what we're setting up in our life is what most marriages just look like anyway. Interesting.
Well, it might just be my disheartened view of marriage because it's hard to see it work. But I will say...
Disheartened, but not inaccurate.
True. I mean...
Maybe a gross stereotype, but...
Yeah. I mean, I love stereotypes, so they're generally correct.
And hyperbole?
That's why we create them.
Good one. Good one.
Dark humor is my coping mechanism.
Good.
Yeah. It definitely brings joy to my life.
It throws a good contrast.
It does.
Yeah.
Both my brothers obviously have been through similar trauma that I have because we've been together through it. But one of them has been through the ringer, and he's the one that is my dark humor buddy. If we dwell on it any other way, it's just going to make us sad.
Yeah.
And we don't have time for that. We already gave enough of that energy. You only get so many hours on this earth.
And you get to choose the energy that you walk in.
You don't have to bring your sad day to people.
So how do you choose? How do you make the transition when you make the choice? Like if you are in a bad headspace or having a bad mood.
Not to say it doesn't happen, right? But the frequency by which it could happen, I try to eliminate as much as possible. Sometimes I will just be sad. My dad passed away. It was like, it happened at the time, dealt with the stuff. And then recently I was sitting down and I just got so overwhelmed with sadness. just thinking about my dad. I just missed him for like 2 days. And so I'm just walking around kind of funky. But when I walk up to somebody that I know has things that they're dealing with, or they just don't need to try to take on my sadness today, I'll actively tell myself, don't bring that to them. Like, that's not their responsibility. So I'll just try to turn it up a little bit. You know, I'll set that aside for the minute, have my interaction, and then move on with my day.
And it doesn't feel like that takes away some of the legitimacy of the feeling? Like you're not allowing yourself to feel it?
I think the times that I get most hung up in that is when I'm helping somebody through a situation that I also deal with. So like when my boyfriend and I got together, he had death in his family, like right away. And I lost my dad in between. He lost his brother. I lost my dad. He lost his sister. And it was like back to back. And you want to be there for that person, but sometimes you're just sad.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to help them feel better because they're sad, it's like you then in your mind are thinking, well, I feel the same way. You know, like I don't have the energy to give you because I'm so sad about the same thing. But again, you look at the person, you're like, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't choose to make me sad today. I chose to either be here or walk out. And I always have that option. You know, I don't have to be mean about it, but I can just say, hey, this is too much for me. What can I give you? You know, what can I do for you? I need to walk away. But you just have to be really intentional with how you're feeling in order to consciously make that decision all the time.
Yeah.
That's something I've learned to do in my own adaptation of what I want my life to look like. I just don't see me bringing sadness making anybody else happy.
Accepting yourself, but also being honest about what you can handle and what you can sit with.
And sometimes it's too much.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to plan for that when I know I have time with my daughter. I mean, she's really where it stems from. How do you not bring that to her? Like when my mom was really sad about my dad, there was one time I remember, and I was in 8th grade, and I was sitting waiting for something, I don't know, maybe church, and she's pulled over in a parking lot just screaming and crying about my dad, just yelling about all the things, which I had never known, like truthfully what the things were.
Yeah.
And she's saying them, and I'm just sitting in this car. I don't understand, but I want to help her because she's my mom and I care. But like with all the stuff, every single time I looked at my daughter, like, I do not want you to have that feeling that you have to take on my emotions.
Yeah.
It's just too much for her. She doesn't deserve it.
Do you feel like you hide them from her because of that? Like your mom unloaded years of things because she was keeping them in and hiding them. Like, but where's the balance? So that's what I'm wondering is, do you protect her from things that would actually help develop her understanding of what it means to be a human?
Maybe.
Yeah, of course. How do you know? Yeah, yeah. And we can overthink what we do or don't do. Mm-hmm. And either way, it's not going to be perfect. It's just going to be, you're doing the best version you can do.
Yeah. But my parents, I will say, always included us in the conversation as much as they could. They didn't make it like the adults are talking. Mm-hmm. They would say, well, we're discussing this. Do you want to be a part of it or not? And most of the time I was like, no, it's boring. I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a good way to filter them out.
Yeah.
So you do the same thing?
Yeah, because she reads me like
part.
a book, right? She can tell. The second I'm not feeling something, she's like, are you okay? Yeah. So I'm fine.
Sounds like a pretty self-aware child.
Oh my gosh, I'm so thankful.
It's funny how more and more that's what I'm starting to see. Like I'm trying to see this next generation and be like, oh, those kids back in my day, you know, we didn't have all the whatever, and they're going to be, but I don't see that. I don't see that they're doing worse or that they're inconvenienced in any way. I see that they're more conscious, more thoughtful, more self-aware, just generally speaking. Mm-hmm. And that is so encouraging.
Do you feel that way with your kids' friends?
Yes.
Yeah?
All of them.
That's awesome.
Like, and anytime I'm around a group of kids, even if it's kids I don't know, I listen to their conversations. And yes, there's still lots of kids. Kids still are kids. They're going to be talking about whatever dumb things they're talking about. That's how it's going to seem to me. But interspersed through all of them just finding out what it's like to be humans and talk about whatever they want to talk about, I hear conscious, self-aware statements, questions, the way they say things. It's so different than what I've experienced before.
I agree. I like it.
Very encouraging.
Yeah. I mean, there are times when I feel like we've created an allowance for certain things that maybe shouldn't be as encouraged. There should be some more ownership there. But I think kids in general, even just, man, when Genesee was little, Randy and I would always, my ex-husband, we'd give her direction, like we'd give her options. Do you want to do this or this? And you always give them an option that they don't want to do, right? To kind of gear them towards doing what they need to do. Do you want to pick up your shoes or do you want to eat this broccoli? Oh, I'll pick up my shoes. But when she would tell me things, I'm like, Genesee, why aren't you doing this? And then she'll explain back to me what I told her. And it was eye-opening every time. By like the third or fourth time, I just stopped challenging what she was doing. But there was one time I think Randy was giving her direction and then I was giving her direction. And then both of us got frustrated with her. And she looks up at us and she said, well, you said this and then you said this. So this is what I'm doing. And we looked at each other like, wow, she had to tell us. She was like 5.
And I didn't learn to speak actually what I'm feeling and actually answer the real thing rather than answering what I'm afraid is happening, that I'm in trouble, until I was about right now old.
Yeah. Do you say I'm sorry a lot?
No.
No.
But I'm learning to say I'm sorry. Because it's very good for, I think of it as greasing the social skids. Mm-hmm. It makes interactions make more sense to people. So I'm trying to.
Because it brings down how scary you are to them?
Yeah, I guess it humanizes you. It makes you more relatable. And it's like, to me, I'm always watching for when I do something that doesn't feel like it fits me. And it's like, oh, I see that person had this reaction to it. I probably am going to modify that for the next time. Like, I'm always doing that, but you can't see what's happening inside me.
Yeah.
And so it really helps people to know that I don't think I'm perfect.
Yeah.
That I am always doing that process. And the only way that most people can hear that is when you say, I'm sorry. So
do you find people are intimidated by you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because you're confident?
I don't know, for many reasons. And I would say people are less intimidated by, like, I look around me now and I don't see people being intimidated by me, but I still have the story that they are, because I've had that story for my whole life. So I still am worried that I'm intimidating people, making them uncomfortable. And I do make some people uncomfortable, for one thing, because I ask the question that wants to be asked. I don't tiptoe around people's feelings, especially in a setting like this.
Yeah.
Or else I don't speak. If I feel like I'm going to hurt someone's feelings by what I have to say, I don't modify what I have to say. Either say it or don't say it.
But I like that for you.
I like that for me too.
Good.
I'm just trying to learn how to balance it with also caring to live my life in the marketplace with the people.
Yeah, that's true.
I like
you do have
the
to
people.
consider the people. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I always know that everything somebody says to me could mean anything.
Yeah.
What I think it means doesn't actually mean anything about what it actually means. And so I just try to keep a completely open mind.
Yeah.
About what they're trying to say to me, and I don't hold them to anything. And if you change your story 5 minutes later, you maybe changed your story because you are human, that changes. But also maybe my perspective of your story changed, and that's why the meaning feels like it changed. Maybe you're just saying it in a slightly different way, but you're actually saying the exact same thing.
Yeah. Because
I didn't understand it the first time. Anything could be true. So I try to give that to people, but I feel like I just wish people would give me that back. Just like
the directness.
Just to not feel like what they think I mean is 100% for sure what I actually mean.
Like giving you that plausible deniability that there may be a miscommunication here, whether it was the way I received or the way that you said it, but rather than asking for clarification, they just assume.
As a species, I think we do a lot of assuming. It's mostly how we live life. What I'm saying is I give people the space to be wrong, to change their mind. And I do that by realizing that just because I think that's what they're doing, it doesn't mean that is what they're doing. Mm-hmm. That's just what I'm perceiving.
Yeah.
And so I know that my perception of your experience is never your experience. I am trying to understand your experience. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I wish people would give me that same freedom back.
Do you have some people that do?
Absolutely. I think everybody does as much as they can.
Yeah.
And including me. I think we're all just at different degrees.
But in your life now, do you feel like there are more people who gave you that grace?
Yeah.
And you've chosen that by selecting the path that you're on now?
I think by giving myself that grace.
Yeah.
Because I may think people aren't giving me that grace when they are.
Yeah.
But I also feel like people don't have to give me that grace.
Yeah.
And I don't have to feel like I'm in trouble. Like, I'm sorry used to mean I'm in trouble. I fucked up. Mm-hmm. But that's not what it means.
Yeah.
What it means could be anything. It could be, I recognize that you had a really painful reaction to something I just did. Mm-hmm. And I care about you.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that there's something bad about me because someone else's feelings got hurt, which also doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with me saying I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Try everything,
that's true. I don't know that everybody tries everything.
including me. I mean, we can't possibly try everything.
Yeah, that's true. I guess just more the option that it's there, right? That there could be a different approach to things that we're misinterpreting.
Correct.
Yeah.
That anything that is spoken, that is communicated, could be what I think it is, but it also could be something different.
Yeah.
That is such a rabbit trail. Mm-hmm. I mean, it means a lot to me because I'm trying to figure out what my balance is.
Yeah.
As is becoming really obvious as you ask me a couple of questions. Good job.
Am I not supposed to ask you questions?
You are supposed to be you.
Oh, okay. I am being me.
And I appreciate questions.
Good.
Yeah.
I feel like questions help.
Okay, so I have a question for you then.
Yes, sir.
What is your art?
Oh my gosh, everything. So I do everything, really.
I love that answer.
Yeah,
first of all.
I wish it wasn't everything.
Oh,
I
that
wish
is
there
so
was
good.
more of a specific thing, right?
Yeah.
Ever since I was little, I have a spatial need to create, I guess. So when I can take a space and do something with it that changes it, it can bring me joy. So I guess I found my art in like scrapbooking, but not actual scrapbooks. I'm way too ADHD to sit in one space, right? So my bedroom growing up was a small collage of friends' pictures, into some snowboarding pictures, into some magazines, into literally the entire room. But I couldn't draw, I couldn't paint, I didn't know how to do any of those things. So then I got the opportunity when I worked at Home Depot to become a sign maker. And I had a lady teach me how to draw just large numbers, and then eventually Homer and a couple of other things. And she encouraged me in a way that was very helpful for me, where she would look at it and say, that's terrible, try again. And then I would do it, right, until I could get it right. So I love to draw now. I went to school for special effects, so I can do mold making, I can sculpt.
Wow.
Yeah, but it doesn't bring me as much joy as like painting. I love to do patchwork. So just different textures into a small space. Actually, now that you mentioned it, I've been trying to hone in on just one thing I can do repetitively, because right now I just do whatever somebody asks. So for example, I have a painting at the house now that's it's a 2 foot by 4 foot piece of wood. And it's the Reservoir Dogs. Mm-hmm. And it's just, their ties are the color of the character. And then so is their shadow for a friend of mine, Austin. He's wonderful. He always challenges me to be artistic. But my main thing that I love to do is patchwork. I don't stitch, I paint it. And it's just different textures, different colors, different angles. And it just reminds me of like, so I have this tattoo on my arm. Patchwork, it's my family.
That is so cool. It's a patchwork heart.
Yeah, I love it. And this is my dad. And he had adopted a son before he met my mom. So that's why there's red in there. And my dad always wore pink. And then my mom loved these little purple flowers. So she was purple. She was over here by my brother Brian, who was the furthest from my dad at the time. My brother Billy was right next to him because they were the closest. And I was kind of in the middle. But just that idea, right? That we were always raised that everybody can be themselves in their space. And how much you allow them to do is how much you can learn about that person. But if you're going to project onto them what you expect from them, you're never going to be able to meet the person that's actually there.
No kidding.
So that's definitely the way I live my life. And I just I have a lot of friends that are a little odd to other people, but I find them the most interesting because they just live their lives unapologetically, and they get themselves into situations on occasion that are either really, really positive or sometimes really negative or anywhere in between. And I just love that they just live out loud, you know?
They're just themselves.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not great.
Yeah.
But I tell them, that's fine. That's your attitude. That's your approach on that. Just be that. Why do you have to change that because other people don't think it's acceptable? I mean, don't be ridiculous. Don't walk around punching people in the face. But if your reaction to that is, I think that's stupid, and I would rather put glue on everything than just be the person who wants to put glue on everything.
Yeah.
Why do you have to change that? Why do you have to go learn how to sew because somebody told you that gluing things on was stupid? That's their opinion.
That's their opinion.
Yeah. And if you live in that, you're never going to feel comfortable.
That's so true. Why would anybody want to try to just be themselves?
Right? It's weird to me. I think it's almost bad when you were giving that example earlier about just like being self-aware and like just everybody's opinions about each other. I feel like sometimes I shouldn't do this, but I will not see it to the point where I don't even see the value in it. I just ignore it entirely. I see you there, But it doesn't matter what I say and do. I've had a lot of life experiences with a lot of different kinds of people.
Yes.
I know who I can change their opinion. I mean, sometimes I'll be surprised, but generally, and I do like when I surprise somebody, especially it's someone who judges me directly. Like they see me and they're like, oh, this is what I expect from you.
Why do you like that?
Because we walk out, arm over the shoulder, buddies, and I made you rethink your thought process because you looked at this and you didn't even give me a chance to talk. And the minute we talk, it's different. And it's fun because sometimes they don't get that experience. And there's this guy that I work with. He's awesome. Very misunderstood. I misunderstood him. And now I work side by side with him. He's a peer. He runs a different part of our company. And everybody's intimidated by him. And I love it because we had to go out for like a week out in Montana and we drove to all these different events because we were at all.
I've been part of that drive before.
All the locations. He was one of the only people that I didn't really have a great relationship with that I worked with because I didn't have a lot of time for us to get to know each other. He lives in Montana. So he drove his truck. I didn't rent a car. And we drove for hours in between these locations. And every time I tried to give him an out by like getting on my phone and reading a book or just something because he was uncomfortable with me, I was uncomfortable with him. But as soon as I would do that, he would just kick into this dad mode and just start talking to me. And he told me all sorts of things about his life. I told him all sorts of things about my life. And now we're just like, we're not the same person. We're not going to call each other and text all day. But, you know, he'll make fun of me on a meeting and send me a little text like, you look like the Cheshire Cat. Why are you smiling so much? You know, and I need that. I need to know that he gets me. And afterwards, when we left Montana, you know, he hugged me and said, I'm so glad we got this time together because I did not understand you. And I said, I didn't understand you either. And I still don't. And I love it. It makes me happy.
Ron Lytle.
Yep. That's my guy.
I've had that same drive, faced those same things, and he is fantastic.
He's amazing. He's such a sweet, kind, badass.
So do you sell your art? Do you do art? Do you commission stuff? Do you promote it? Like,
I do a little bit of everything. Like I said, I don't have good direction.
welcome to the club.
Well, this is art. This is amazing. And
This
this is
is
some
art.
consistent stuff that you're doing. over
That
here.
feels so good to hear somebody say that because
Yeah.
it feels like art to me. And it is art. I know that it is art, but I haven't seen myself as an artist for most of my life.
Yeah, same.
So
But you are. But you felt
like
that there
the
was something in you, though, that needed to get out.
still do.
Yeah, same. Agreed.
With that closed throat, like, oh, how do you open it? Let it out.
What you're doing every day.
Just do it.
Just being open and trying. But
Be
like, look at the
yourself.
setup.
Just be yourself. And it's gonna be uncomfortable every day.
Yeah. That's how you
And
know it's working.
the benefit is you get to be yourself, which is infinitely repeatable.
But some people don't like to be alone. That's us too.
When you realize that there's a universe inside of every person.
Yeah.
Even if you just look physically, we're a universe of interactive critters with their own agendas and their own consciousness that are,
Working in you right now,
Working in
all
you.
over. Yeah.
it's all part of you.
It's cool.
Are we really ever alone? If you think you're ever alone, just figure out a way to detach yourself from your thoughts so you can just watch them and then try to count how many personalities are there and then tell me that you still think you're alone.
Yes, very accurate. You could probably list them out. Just
you
the different
can-
parts of your personality as people.
Yep. And if you allow all of them to have free expression, it is endless entertainment, endless adventure, endless learning,
That's true.
even on the mountaintop.
Especially on the mountaintop. But to answer your question, I have done movies. I've done haunted houses, lots of commission work, lots of, signs, paintings.
So if someone wanted to follow you or see your art, where could they find you?
Well, I do have some Instagram. So I started a business a couple of years ago with a friend of mine who he worked for a different company, he used to pick up from TNA as well, which our professional relationship wasn't exactly the partnership that we needed, but it was really great to have that collaboration. So I do have that. So I have EKC.
What is that?
EKC.
Oh, EKC.
Yeah, on Instagram. Yes.
Okay.
There's just not a lot of content.
Okay, that's okay.
We did some music videos.
I know I'm going to be looking after this conversation.
Yeah, please do.
I want to see what you're describing and, get that feel.
Well, you'll get a little like across the board. So there's that one. And then I have one that's, I don't even know, Casey's Crafts or something. I don't know. Cheyenne actually made me create one just for that. That is my random project. So like I made a sign for a friend of mine. I had watched her house and she had gotten married. So I made them a little, wooden sign. And then I had another friend of mine do a party for herself. So I did a whole bunch of like Western looking signs. I'm heavy in the country community. I know I don't look that way, but definitely runs part of my soul for sure. Mm-hmm. So I do a lot of country inspired stuff, wood and things like that.
And what are you going to do tomorrow? Like, do you have plans for turning it into something else? And
Yes. My plan is to try to work with my whole patchwork idea. So I have a lot of paintings that I've done different kinds of things in, just really piecing together all the kinds of art that I like to do. So that's really been, I have a huge, I don't have my phone with me, but I'll show you later. I have this huge wall in my bedroom that when I was going through a lot of different things, when I had time, I just started to throw paint up on this wall. And I painted every house in my room, or every room in my house multiple times since I've owned it. But this one in my room was like multicolored. It's all patchwork. I did a bunch of different textures and I add to it
send me a picture.
I will.
See that.
It's a lot. But it makes me so happy. And it's also just somewhere that when I have time and I just have that energy, I can go put it into that. So I'll just sit there and, draw in little different things and it brings me joy. So I just want to do that on a smaller scale, potentially for people. Like I would love to sit with someone and talk to them about things in their life that's important to them and like what that looks like to them texturally and colors, and then just create that for them. Like I love when I would meet a tattoo artist and I would be like, this is what I'm thinking. And then they come back and they show you. And you're like, oh, you're amazing. How did you get that out of my head? I never could have created that. I want to do that.
Oh, I want to see this process.
Yeah, it's fun. Maybe I'll make you something after this conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That would be so cool because that's the world that makes the most sense to me is the abstract. What you are translating into is the easiest way for me to understand.
Right? Colors and sizes and just different textures and spaces. So
are you going to do this under the EKC? Is that going to be a brand?
No. So we did EKC because I had Casey's Creatures that I did for when I was in school years and years ago. And then my friend Edward Kilpatrick, he was in band for a long time. He hangs out with a lot of metal guys. They do a lot of metal shows, lots of different kinds of music, but very artistic. Lots of Guar inspired, big costumes, things like that. So
Guar? Mm-hmm. What? I'm hearing a new word, I think.
Guar? You don't know what Guar is? You should Google them. They're a band.
Oh, Guar. Okay.
Yeah. They get all dressed up. Yeah.
I will. I'll look him up.
Yeah, Edward's a big Guar guy.
Okay.
But it just created this, fire in him, which was so awesome. We got to hang around for a couple of years and play with, and we were just kind of collaborating to do stuff. But with just our schedules and our lifestyles are just different. So I want to do something that I can do. My daughter's the center of my world, right? And I have all this new responsibility at work, which has been wonderful. But just having that time when I'm at home be really intentional. So I've been just creating that space for myself. So taking on Austin's painting project was awesome. But now that I'm done with that, I always want to have one puzzle going and one painting going so that if I need to shut my brain off, I can go in one direction or another. But that's kind of where I think I'll land. It's just making those for people or for myself.
When are you going to start?
I already have. I have quite a few. My daughter, ever since she was little, she got into, Halloween. And whatever she would come up with, I would create all the characters for it. So oh
my goodness.
Yeah, I loved it. I still do it. She's 13 now. We had a conversation a couple years ago. I think it was last year. I was like, I guess I don't need to be the counterpart to your character anymore since you're like a whole human now. You're not just like a little girl. Because, she'd be a Ninja Turtle. And then I'd be April O'Neil. My ex-husband would be Casey. What's his name? Casey Jones. And then my mom, I think, was Splinter at that year. She was only like 2, 3, maybe. But then there's a show called Gravity Falls. It's actually one of my favorites that she picked when she was younger. It takes place in Oregon. And it's like a mystery shack where they have all these weird things happen. So she wanted to be the main kid there. And then all of us were all the characters from it. So that's really where I find my most inspiration. And now she's very much into anime and different kinds of characters from that. So she goes to Comic-Cons and stuff like that. So I do all of her cosplay.
Aww.
Yeah, I love to do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You love to do it. So
I do.
Yeah, you do all of y'all's cosplay.
Yeah.
That's so cool that you're enabling. You're not only like cultivating your own art, but you're doing it in a way that enables it in the next generation.
Dude, and she is such a better artist than I am. And it's awesome. Just watching her go from trying to draw something to, hey, check this out, to me just picking up one of our mutual sketchbooks and me like flipping it. When did you draw this? Oh, last week. Just awesome. She made a costume, or not a costume, a shirt for my ex-husband. His birthday was on the 19th. And we were messing around with black shirts with bleach. And so we had only done it maybe one afternoon 2 weeks ago. So she goes out there, makes him the shirt, brings it in, and she turns a corner, and I just swore. I was like, holy shit, that is freaking awesome. It looked like she bought it online. This big mouth with all these cool teeth. And then she did like this eat the rich thing in there. She's got skills.
Imagine if you had been
I try not to.
pushed like that,
Yeah.
given that kind of a support. You probably wouldn't be saying stuff like, she's a better artist.
She'll always be better than me.
She's a different artist.
She's my daughter.
She's your daughter. You're supposed to
Yeah.
feel that way.
Yeah.
You're proud of her.
I am.
Great. I guess that answers all of my questions around that.
Does it?
Well,
Around my art?
It doesn't, because I feel like I have more. Like, I want to know, like, you have future plans with it, like plans to do something with it. What is that something? And you're just like, keep doing it. So I'm not sure what I'm not quite hearing, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I just don't have, I wish I had more direction for you.
So are you, yeah. And sometimes I'm chasing something that's not there. Do you feel like you are the same person when you're doing your art or when you're in those spaces as you are when you're at work? Or are there different personalities that you put on?
I think I'm more confident at work because that's where I've always been and I can tangibly see the difference. My art I'm much more critical of. So.
But you don't like shut parts of yourself off to go to work or, okay.
Yeah,
That's
work
okay.
is like where I really engage. I don't like to be excessively social now. But just because I've always been around so many people and lots of personalities, and I've always it's energy draining after so long when you commit to the experience all the time.
Yeah.
So I try to just, be in my own spaces now.
Yeah.
But I find that I'm more apt to be comfortable with myself when I'm doing art. So like I'll put my headphones on and I love to just zone out and be there for, however long that takes. I wish that I could say I had the attention span to be able to sit for hours and do it. But I think that takes a level of commitment and practice for you to be able to do that. And with all the things in life being so all over the place, I've never had so much time to be able to do art or to be able to, like, I've created so much time in my life to now have a space for that, when before it was constantly filled with trauma and things happening to me all the time. And that's where that feeling of anxiety comes in. And then when I'm trying to add that to my art time at the same time right now, I'm working through what that looks like. And my goal is to be able to just go to work, come home, work out, and then draw or do my art for a while. I'm about 80% there. I do that. It's not as consistent as I would like, but I create the time to commit to my art now. When before it was like I couldn't give it enough value because I didn't feel confident in it, and there was so many other things for me to pay attention to. So, and taking care of people will always be my safe space. It's like giving up myself to take care of everybody else. I'm the
Gives you
youngest
value.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you feel like you have to.
Yeah.
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 And now that there's no parents,
What I'm hearing is that you're building a space, you're creating a thing, you're doing a thing of making a life that you don't want to escape from, rather than building something particular, having this idea that you want to construct. You're just like, I want a life that I enjoy all of.
every day. Like that's what I strive for.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. And art is there. There's a
Yeah.
space for it.
Because you are art.
Yeah. And I love it. I really do. It's confusing to me because it hasn't been a clear path for me. I didn't just wake up one day and go, I'm really good at woodworking. but I love to use tools and I love to cut wood. Like I would do anything in any medium. It's hard because where do you start?
Yeah. You have to learn how to stop saying yes to all the things that are taking your energy so that you can figure out where to start. What do I want to say yes to?
Yeah. You said it's so easy like that. It took years for me to decide or discover
Same.
that.
That's why I have podcast conversations. I'm trying to find the language.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you most afraid of? Or what are you afraid of in your life?
I don't think I have any fear left.
Interesting statement.
I've just seen so many things. And I mean, the only thing I'm afraid of really is just for my daughter's future, like what the world looks like where she is going to have her family. And I just hope that I'm there long enough to help her through it. You know, like I lost my parents, not when I wasn't old enough to handle it, but you know, my parents weren't super old. My mom was only in her 60s. My dad was in his late 70s, but they both had, again, big lives. But I want to be able to be there for Genesee, you know, with her grandkid going to school. I hope I don't get cancer from self-inflicted things that I've, energy drinks and things of this nature that I put in my body.
And by the time you get there, she might be helping you through it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's already
But
done
doing
so
life
much.
together,
Yeah.
that's what makes it so worthwhile.
Right.
You don't want to end up alone.
No. And I won't.
Except that you're never alone.
I'm not. And they're with me. I love that though. Like as much as I talk about loss a lot, you know, I'm powered by it all the time.
Yeah.
So like even if a song comes on the radio or not the radio, like my Spotify, because it listens to my algorithm, it'll be something that was just specific to my mom or my dad. And I'll always stop in that moment and just be like, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm good. You know, and it makes me genuinely happy. It just be just like a text message, you know?
It shows.
Yeah, makes me happy. They're good people.
It sounds like the recipe for happiness is allow all of your emotions whenever they want to show up, whatever way they want to show up. Mm-hmm. Figure out how to be yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm finding too.
Good. You look like you're finding that.
And the seasons still happen. You still a cycle. Everything is still a cycle. You're still going to come back to that moment where it's like, wait, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing this the right way? Am I being myself?
Yeah, just shut that off.
It's always going up.
Yeah, that's true.
Learning, because every time you're asking that means you're learning how to be yourself better. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Another question I really like to ask is, what do you think the most important thing to say is?
In general? Like,
Sure.
What do you mean?
Like, if when this interview is over, you blink out of existence, what would you want to leave echoing in the thought space?
Yeah.
What's the most important thing to say to the humans around you?
Just be present, but don't let the experience dictate your experience. Does that make sense? Not really. Like, I just wish people could stop putting, what did my mom used to call it? Standing in their own way. Don't stand in your own way. If you feel any kind of resistance, you're either in your way or something's in your way that you need to get out of your way. And I just wish every day people could wake up and just not let things burden them, because things are gonna bother you. But when you start your day thinking all of these issues, how do you expect to have a positive day? And I just wish I could get people to be positive. And when you talk to people about positivity, it's like they have to either say it's stupid because there's no way you can be that happy, or there's a reason that you're that happy because you've never had any experiences. So you must just be ignorant to the world, right? But I feel like the people that I know that have been through the most things that haven't taken over their lives in a negative way are the most in touch and happiest people that I know. They may not be outwardly happy, you know, singing and dancing all day like I like to do because I think it's funny and I think that it's fun and you should do it. So it makes me happy.
And you're an embodied human.
Yeah.
You're connected to your body.
Yeah. And I like to move it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think everybody can have that experience being just as happy in their own skin if they would just get out of their own ways.
So true.
Yeah.
I'm learning that over and over.
Mm-hmm. But it's fun. Like I don't know. I like when I catch myself doing it. One of my brothers, he gets in his own way all the time. And it's taken a really long time for him to not take it so seriously, to the point where now he can separate that out. And he has a name for that guy. And he'll be like, yeah, I did that, but I'm over here and I'm this guy. And I love that for him because for so long, he would just put these roadblocks in front of himself. And I'd look at him going, dude, this is so self-inflicted. Like you need to just stop taking everything so seriously.
Yeah.
And then my other brother and I are on the opposite end of that, where we're taking nothing seriously. And it just absolutely infuriates other people. Where they're just like, you don't take any of this seriously.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things, because you just don't care and you just break everything.
Yeah. And I'm the one going, you're right, I broke it, but I raised my hand and told you that it was in my hand and I was breaking it. Like, you chose not to engage. I don't know what to tell you. Why are you surprised?
I realize I live in a chaotic universe.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not upset about the chaos.
And that's why you attract people who are a little chaotic, but who bring something to life.
Something genuine.
Yeah.
Who bring themselves.
Yeah.
I like that. And I feel like you said, be present, but without judgment.
Yeah. Don't go in with an expectation.
Don't
You're just going to
judge
be,
everything.
yeah.
So all those stories are what makes you unhappy. Be present and joyful. All different ways. Oh, Alan Watts says,
Yeah.
you must be simply present and relaxed. Everything else gets easy after that.
Yeah. And like, even when it's shitty, own that it's a terrible time at that moment. This is absolutely awful. I've got myself to the point where I'm laughing because it's so absolutely awful, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm already in it.
And it's already awful.
Yeah.
What am I afraid of?
Yeah. It's just, and even if I can see the end is a little worse, it's going to end at some point.
And it's not going to end the way I think it will.
Yeah. And I'm just going to get up and walk forward the next day. So I cannot do anything to get out of this, but owning that moment is, to me, it's fun to feel it. Sometimes it's just the worst, but feeling the worst is a feeling. I'd rather feel shitty and amazing than feel nothing all the time. You have to live your life. And I took myself out of like a very set up life. And I made it hard, right? I feel like you did the same thing.
Deconstruction.
Yeah, just took it all down.
Yep.
But
Burn it down even.
Yeah, and at times were you looking at it going, how am I going to figure this out? I'm not going to be able to.
Am I a horrible human being?
Yeah.
Am
And
I
then you still have to
really
wake
this
up the next day
self-centered?
and talk to these people and,
Is what
live through
everybody
another one.
thinks about me actually true? Or is it just what I think everybody thinks?
It doesn't even matter what they
going
think.
through their own struggles.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Humans are so interesting.
Right? But I'm glad you did that, though.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets to experience that in your life. And it's really, really difficult when other people are looking at your life going, why would you set this on fire? You were so lucky. How dare you make these choices? And then I'm looking at them going, oh, yeah, you're right. And then I look back going, wait a minute. Why am I listening to this? This is the most unhappy person. And I get it. Like, you don't like my choices. That's fine.
And even if they're not, the person they are talking about was the most unhappy person.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't pretend that I wasn't. I can't pretend that I was happy.
And that's so honest.
Yeah.
And that's very difficult for people to understand, especially if they think that you had something that they wanted.
Especially if they're fighting to maintain the illusion of happiness.
Yes.
Which you can't prove. So, okay, well, guess what? I'm not meant to be that person. They can be wherever they are.
Yeah. I feel like we definitely had a lot of those same conversations when it came to ending our marriages.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I feel like there's a lot of judgment. There's a reason I don't talk to a lot of people.
Have you read the book? Have you read the Go Giver series? Okay.
Is that something I'm going
I
to be
think you
taking
would-
out of this conversation?
I think you would love those books.
What are they?
It's like business books, but they're kind of parable stories. Most
Okay.
of them are. It's just about having a go-giver mentality, rather than a go-getter.
Okay.
But they write about all the different parts, like selling and management and marriage. And the books are small
Okay.
and fun stories. And I think you will just be like, resonate.
Yes. Okay.
And language is helpful.
Yeah, I
in
would love
becoming
that.
ourselves.
Absolutely. Knowing how to express what we're trying to get out.
The Go-Giver. I keep extra of those books around because I think everybody should read them. I think the language in those books is valuable if you want to have a more joyful life.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to that. I'm down
Good.
to read those. Yeah. I've always stuck with the how full is your bucket? That's the one I usually hand out to people. Just the idea of, have you ever read that one?
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
You're probably pretty familiar with the idea. It's just a matter of like, if your bucket's empty, you can't give. But the thing I liked the most about it was the idea of, intentionally filling your bucket and other people's buckets. So it's that idea that we talked about earlier, is how do you switch your mindset to say, I'm going to be positive in this moment without feeling like you're deluding yourself or being delusional or whatever. But it's thinking of, if I'm with you, you could have been handing out things out of your bucket all day, and I have this opportunity to fill your bucket. And when you do that, it fills your own. So if I was just to say, I'm so thankful that you gave me the opportunity to come to your home and to do this experience with you, because it was something that I've always wanted to be a part of, but I didn't have any kind of insight to how to do that. And this was the most comfortable way it could have possibly happened for me. So thank you so much. And you get to take that, right? Like, that's something I genuinely feel about this experience. And you get to walk away from this going, cool, Cayse had a good time. And it could be a big thing or a small thing for you. But at the same time, me slowing down enough to say, in this moment, I'm present enough to appreciate the fact that I get this opportunity makes me so happy, because it's just something that fuels my soul. So doing that for you gives me just as much joy. And I feel like everybody could give back to people a little bit more humanitarian wise if we slow down in our day just enough to acknowledge, if you open a door for somebody, give yourself credit for that. Say, I took the time to realize this person's older than me and they deserve for me to hold this door for them. Like, stupid little things, they're not stupid. It's reminding yourself that you're intentionally trying to add positivity to the world.
Well said, Cayse.
Thank you.
Thanks for driving all the way here from Portland to explore things with me.
Absolutely. I was so excited to find out what you'd get me to talk about.
Me too. And I'll find out when I edit and when
Yeah.
I listen to the final cut. But
And it definitely wasn't what I thought.
no.
No.
Is there anything else that needs to be said? That wants to be said?
No, I'm thankful for this experience.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm just happy that I got to meet you. Just because your journey, even though I'm not on it with you, I get to be a
Except
part. I mean,
here
I'm
you
kind
are.
of, I guess, partially
You are
yes.
forever this part of my journey now.
Yeah.
And I
That's
am forever
cool.
this part of your journey.
Yeah.
I just realized that with my last interview.
It's wild. This is something I would never have thought that I would have done. It's so exposing.
Kind of likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you bring something different. Most of the interviews that I have had just talking with people, not actual interviews, is like, tell me all the bad things and why they hurt and how bad it hurt. And talk me through how this made you who you are.
I don't like talk therapy.
Me neither. Yeah. Why am I going to go back through all the things I already went through? Let's talk about what's up here.
Let's talk about what is right now.
Yeah.
Just be there.
Yeah. Yeah. We have rear view mirrors.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being brave enough to face yourself.
Happy to do it. I'm so glad we didn't have the computer open, because really I was just facing you.
We're learning everything. Oh, but I am a mirror.
Yeah. But it's a nice mirror. You know, you reflect a feeling of comfort. That you don't have to be afraid to be you. Yeah. Which is your whole thing. You just said that earlier.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're helping people be themselves.
Does feel like that.
It's huge. Some people don't have anybody like
That's
that.
the bucket I need filled, so I fill it for myself, and it always pours out.
It's overflowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buckets.
Did you say buckets?
Oh. Bucket. Buckets.
Bucket.